Hi, it's Kim Marie again, and for many of you who may have seen my video this morning that I was outside in 36-degree weather doing a cold plunge in water, right? So just to tell a little more about it, I have been doing work for mind over matter kind of things for decades now, and I teach how to overcome limitations, right? And I've done it in the dentist's office when I was getting a what's it called, an implant, and I only had a local, I only had a little numbing. I did not get put under. They were drilling in my mouth for over an hour, and I did this meditation where I just focused and talked to my body and stared in one spot in the room and talked to the pain, talked to just basically the stuff I've studied for decades. And it was amazing. At one point he said, "Where are you? You look like you're on the beach, like you're too relaxed for the amount of stuff that's going on in your body," right? And then later that day, when the numbing wore off, I had been speaking, your body is healing, there's limited pain, there's limited bleeding, there's, all these things are just speaking love into my body, how it has the ability to heal itself, which it does. And it was amazing. Later, when it wore off, I went and ate a salad. I had stitches in my mouth. It was not painful. And then the dentist, who was a client sort of at the time, I was training him at the time, he called me and he said, "What's the pain from 1 to 10? I said, "Maybe a 1, a 2. He said, "Get the F out of here. Like, you're kidding me right now." I said, "No." And he said, "Well, how much pain medication did you take?" I said, "None." And he's like, "Just take it. You're going to need it. Just take it." And it's like, well, why would I take it if I don't need it, right? There's all these negative side effects. And then later, when I was in my 40s, early 40s, I got into a terrible car accident. I was hit by a Hummer and I shattered my forearm, and I used the same thing, just called in healing immediately. I didn't even know what happened yet, and then I spoke to my arm, and I'm writing a book about it because it's a process. I'm not perfect by any shape of the imagination. So I've been doing the Wim Hof training for several years now, where it's increased it's breath work, and it's increased my endurance, and I've done it for it does so many positive things. But one of the things that he does and what he's known for is being the Iceman. And how he started this, and he's broken many records. He's climbed Mount Everest in his shorts. The thing about it is that he's learned how, through his mind and through breath work, to shift the chemistry in his body, which is what I'm doing when I'm speaking to my body. I'm literally creating the hormones in my brain that are allowing me to heal, that are, naturally having that happen. So he actually got the science to prove it. He many years ago lost his wife. She committed suicide. He was left with 4 kids. He didn't have any money. He was highly depressed. And rather than go the traditional route, he went deep within himself. He went into the cold, and he learned how to overcome. Because I will tell you this, I hate the cold. I hate being cold. So you should all know that. I moved from New Jersey because it was cold. Then I ended up coming to the mountains, which is something I resisted for many years because it was cold. And it's still cold, but I just felt really challenged to try this because there's so many health benefits to cold plunging. One is most disease is caused by inflammation in the body. So being in a cold plunge on a regular basis takes the inflammation, and it also reduces calories, makes your body burn more calories. And there's so many health benefits. It's so invigorating if you have the guts to do it. It probably takes an hour of mind training in the morning because you're like, no, this is the last thing you want to do is get out of a warm bed and jump not only into a cold plunge, but a cold plunge outside, which actually the outside, knowing I'm going in the cold water, is nothing. So I'm in a bikini and it's 36 degrees and I'm like, oh, this isn't bad. You know, because I know I'm going in that cold water. And the first day that I did it, it was frigid. It was painful. But I was a little worried because I read up about your extremities and all of this stuff rather than just focused on the mindset and the breathing. I was a little being very conscientious. So I spent a lot of time focusing on the problem, which again is going to make you feel freezing. With that being said, I still stayed in it 1 minute and then I got out, went in for another minute 3 times. But the second day, I really mastered my mind and I did the breathing. And then I got in and was able to do it and slow down my breath. I wasn't shivering at all, either day, and maybe the first day, but the second and third day when I mastered it, no shivering. Just very focused. Yes, it was cold. Yes, I can feel it. But one thing about it is you will never be so present. And that is what got Wim Hof out of his depression. That is what got him to another state of being, is when you can be so present. Because when we're in the past and we're in the future, it's a projection. It's limiting. It's very limiting because what you're doing is you're only pulling on what's already come up in your life and then you just keep recreating it, right? Rather than possibility. People who create things that haven't been done before are people who spend time in the present moment. So a lot of the things I teach, meditation and different tools to get you present. So this was, and I have to tell you, it's not going to be easy, I don't think, any morning. I don't think there's going to be one morning where I'm going to be like, yay, I get to go freeze my butt off for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or however long I do it. Today it was 6 minutes. I'm so proud. But when you get out, the energy, because now you're activating the hormones in your brain that just allow you to be so energized, then you start your day. So there's health benefits, but for me, it's about not being limited, and not in a crazy way. I mean, this is proven, but besides that, it's proven in the feelings in your body and the presence and the quality of life. Like, we can have quantity of life or we can have quality of life, because at any moment something can happen. I mean, that day I got hit by the Hummer, that was the last thing I expected. I got all dressed, all nice for a party I was going to, and boom, within 5 minutes from leaving the house, I was slammed by a Hummer and had to be cut out of the car. So you never know what's going to happen. But this is what I want in my life, is I want quality of life. I don't want to just be here and be tolerating my life. I want to be present. I want to be in love, joy, peace, freedom, and abundance. And it is always, always available. And if you have questions about that, please reach out to me and I will show you where your love, joy, peace, freedom, and abundance is without having to go to a pharmaceutical to get it. So you have an amazing day. Love you.